Michael Hancock, Peter Jackson, Big Mal Meninga and Willie Kahn, 5'8" and Captain Wally Lewis, Alan Langer, Alfie at halfback, Martin Bella, Steve Walters and Steve Jackson in the front row, Andrew G, Mike McLean in the second row, and Gary Larson, the debut boy, is at lock forward. Here's Hollywood with the New South Wales Blues.
Yes, of course, coached by Timmy Sheens, the fullback Greg Alexander, the wingers are Chris Johns and Michael O'Connor, the centre combination Andrew Eddingshausen and Laurie Daly, the 5'8" Cliffy Lyons, the halfback Ricky Stewart. The front rowers are Stephen Roach and Ian Roberts. Benny Elias is the hooker and captain. The two second rowers are Big Mark Geyer and the bigger Paul Sirinen. And little Desi Hasler's going to lock them together. And here come the Blues. Go, yo, goaties!
Yeah, New South Wales coming onto the field behind their captain now. Bouncing, Benny Elias leading the Blues on to Lang Park. And the reserves take their places on the bench. And Glenn Lazarus, the Australian Test forward, what a marvellous series he had in England last year, now finds himself on the bench. He'll be itching to get out there. So New South Wales on the field, so too is the referee, and stand by for the national anthem.
Australians, all their hearts rejoice, for we are young and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page where every stage advances Australia there. In joyful strains then let us sing, advance Australia
The New South Wales players joining arms and really in a huddle, talking to one another. They are not looking at the Maroons. They are talking to each other. This is the psych-up. This is the build-up. This is what this game is all about at Lang Park. The Queenslanders standing motionless now. Big Martin Bella. What a load on Big Marty tonight. Steve Jackson, how would he be feeling? Struggling to make Western Suburbs first grade, and he finds himself in one of the biggest games on the rugby league calendar tonight, right here in the cauldron that is Dodge City, Lang Park, where it all happens, and it's going to unfold very, very shortly. A massive crowd, listen to them, and the start of State of Origin in 1991. Bill Harrigan, fitter than most of the players, a member of the SWAT squad, the super crack SWAT squad in the Sydney, New South Wales Police Force, and Bill Harrigan really building up, and the chant goes up for Wally Lewis, and not from always outside of this box. And here we go, State of Origin, 1991. The chant's gone up for Wally Lewis. What can the King do first up? Here we go.
Okay, we've got Mal Meninga now centre field. Billy Harrigan has given all the instructions necessary to the two skippers. New South Wales now fielding their positions. Meninga will get the game underway. Big Mal. And the atmosphere, as Pete said, electrifying here at Lang Park. And there we go. It's a deep kick, and the Steeden taken by Ricky Stewart, and the New South Wales in goal. Immediately puts the football downfield. Paul Hoff taking it 40 out from his own goal line. He elects now to kick downfield. So we've got all Queensland offside. They look like they were ready for that one.
Okay, well, they're going to pepper Hoff in his first game, and the big grasshopper gave it straight back. The giraffe, that is the fullback for the Broncos. Another kick downfield to Hoff. So they're going to put him under pressure. Going in to take it for him is for the Queensland side, Willie Kahn. He's put to the ground now 35 metres out from the Queensland goal line.
It's played to Hopper, goes across to Mal Meninga, charging towards the centre of the ground. Big Mal up to within 10 metres of the halfway line centre field. Walters now giving it across to Jackson, puts the head down, backside up and steams forward. Still 8 short of the halfway. Walters giving it across now to Jackson, and that's Jackson in the centres. Christian named Peter, halfway. He plays it back to Walters. From the back of the ruck again, takes off, beautifully brought down by Ben Elias. It's gone across to Larson, out to Alf Langer. Langer chips up over the top, turning the Blues around, but beautifully taken on the far side by Johns. He was 10 out from his own goal line. Larson up very quickly, and he is put down now 12 metres out from the New South Wales goal line. Alexander sends it across to Cliff Lyons, charging forward. Mike McLean comes in for the first tackle. Strapped up like a trotter, Mike McLean. G is in there also, as we see now going forward in a strong run was Roach. He'll play it on his own quarter line. Ben Elias at dummy half. Across to Paul Sirenen. Go, Ciro, go! And he's 30 metres out from his own goal line and put down on a strong hit over the top. Elias, 360, the back of the ruck. Oh, and they come in. And a bone-crushing tackle up over the top by Wallace put him out of business. Back now to Ricky Stewart. 28 out from his own goal line. He sends the football downfield. Hoff now about to chase it.
Yeah, well, Hoff really reluctant to get involved in this game of football. Michael Hancock is put down after making only a few metres. It's got to go to Hoff now. He's got to have a run, the big fellow, and get in it. Here he is now. Paul Hoff runs into the New South Wales defence and put down just short of the quarter in his own territory. First penalty of the game against New South Wales. In the play the ball, a pinch in the play the ball. New South Wales player sprinted over for the try, Cliff Lyons. But referee Bill Harrigan had ordered the ball to be played. Lewis slows the ball down. That was a reef in the tackle. Cliff Lyons pinching the ball. It was knocked out of his hands by it was Hoff that had the football, and Lyons went in, but there were two players involved there, and referee Bill Harrigan, fair pinch, I think. There's no doubt about it that he obviously called on the Queenslander to play it. Opening penalty of the game.
Wallace with the tap straight out now to Martin Bella. Bella charging forward. He's going to be pulled down now 6 metres short of the halfway line up the play. Wallace a dummy half. Langer goes to the centre. He gives up. No, he doesn't. He offloads to no one. Goes on his own and he's pulled down on the halfway line. Now Big Jackson in at dummy half. He sends it across to Mike McLean. He's got the hippie. Hippie shakes McLean. He's put it to ground. And the referee is going to blow up a scrum for sure. It'll go down a metre short of the halfway line in New South Wales' territory.
An absolute bone-crunching tackle by Big Mark Geyer. He just crunched the Queenslander coming through. Scrum to go down the halfway mark. No score on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard. New South Wales win the scrum. More pressure again on Hoff. He takes 4 steps and he races 40 metres.
Well, the kick from Clippy Lyons on tackle one. Eddie House on the chase. And he gets Hoff pinned down 5 out from his own goal line. Langer's a dummy half, gives it across to Larson, straightens up, runs into Sirenen and Cuppy, and down he goes, 11 metres away from his own goal line. It's back now to Wallace, gives it across to G, shaping up at the defensive New South Wales strong with Ricky Stewart up over the top.
0-0 after 3.5 minutes of State of Origin. Number 1, sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Rugged defence, Pete, from both sides. Obviously what you expect, but the Queensland newcomer, Mike McLean, very, very nervous start.
Yeah, very nervous start for him and for Paul Hoff. Steve Walters, good player, loses the ball as I speak. Zorba put the mock on him. Now it's Cliffy Lyons looking for support. Throws the dummy and he's put down 40 metres out from the Queensland goal line.
Alexander across to Daly. Daly tries to beat one. Jackson in for the first tackle, but Wally Lewis up over the top. It's gone now back to Benny Elias. Lewis around Benny Elias. His legs and 3 over the top of bouncing Benny, and he goes down 35 out from the Queensland goal line as we see Roberts aiming up towards the centre of the ground. He is taken by Larson over the top in the first tackle. Ben Elias at dummy half once again. Gives it across this time to Stephen Roach. Back to Elias. Goes across to Roberts. He was going to offload to Johns. He does now. He tries to take off on the far side of the ground. Can go nowhere. Maybe he picked up 1 or 2 yards. 32 out from the Queensland goal line.
Couple of Broncos on that right flank. Chris Johns and Michael Hancock. New South Wales hoist the bomb again. Offside, I make it. And he's ruled Eddingshausen and also Laurie Daly onside. Great take by Paul Hoff. 5 minutes gone, State of Origin, no score on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard. Lewis takes it for Queensland, and Lewis having a very strong start to this game in defence.
Jackson going forward now for Queensland, outside of his own quarter line, 28 away from his own goal line. Waller's up to Larson. Larson had a look to offload. He had Andrew G on the outside, couldn't get his pass away as Roberts put him down. Gone back to Bella across the lane. A long pass picks up Mal Meninga wide. Eddinghausen's got him, but he offloads once again out wide to Hancock, and he's immediately put away by Johns. He'll get up the plant. Hoff's a dummy half, sends it across the Langer, chips downfield, bounces off a New South Wales player, back and went to Martin Bella, then straight into the arms of Walters. He is now 10 metres short of the line. And the referee, what's he doing? He's taking up a position there.
Yeah, he's ruled a changeover, Greg. He ruled that was a charge down. Right now, New South Wales on the attack. Daly looking strong. Inside pass from Cliff Lyons. He's put down now 38 metres out from the Maroons line. Lyons dummies, gets the pass away.
To Laurie Daly, straight out now to Ricky Stewart. Good pass on to Roberts. He beats Langer, but then he's taken over the top and a strong tackle by G.
And by Lewis. Lewis working overtime in defence.
Back now it goes to Roach charging forward, and again Lewis is there to take Roach to ground in company with a few other cane toads. He's up the play it back. It goes across to Elias to Ricky Stewart. Good pass to Clippy Lyons. He gives it to Alexander. Alexander out the Daly. Had a little fumble. He gives it back this time into the arms of Michael O'Connor. And O'Connor's pulled down 8 metres out from the Queensland goal line. Hasler at dummy half. Sends a quick one across to Ricky Stewart. He flicks the ball back to Benny Elias. Elias turns it back to Sirenen. The big man charges towards the Queensland goal line. 1 tackle left to go. Elias at dummy half. Gives it across the Clippy line. Drops it off the end of the towing goal area. And it's gone. Touch in goal.
Great play by New South Wales, but excellent defence by Queensland. Beautiful start to this game from both sides. New South Wales attack. Spot on there. Lines a little bit heavy with that kick. But Queensland standing up to it at the moment, defending very well. And my heavens, they're going to have to tonight. Sideline Tony Peters.
Gee, a lot of ball movement so early in the match where normally defence takes the point, but good movement by New South Wales out wide, and Wally Lewis's arm certainly looks okay to me.
Yeah, certainly does. Martin Bella taking it unto himself to lead this Queensland pack, and he's got to tonight.
Waller's back to McLean. McLean offloads beautifully out wide to Larson. Wasn't expecting that one. He's knocked down 30 out now from the Queensland goal line. Again, Waller's is a dummy half for the Maroons. He gives it across to Jackson. Oh, and he is put away by Roberts in a bone-crushing tackle. He'll play it once again. Waller's up quickly at dummy half. Goes across the Langer. The chip and chases on. Retrieved by Ricky Stewart beautifully too. Great hands, Ricky Stewart. And he has pulled down 5 metres over the halfway line in Cane Toad territory.
Yeah, what two magnificent halfbacks, Stewart and Alan Langer. Beautiful pass by Lyons.
Alexander in the clears. He got the pace ball up. Alexander's put it on. Hop comes at him. Oh, and the playing man has put him over the touchline. 5 out from Queensland's goal line.
Yeah, and that'll do Hoff's confidence a lot of good. A magnificent pass by Cliff Lyons to put Greg Alexander through the gap. He threw the dummy, held the pass up superbly. The gap was there. Brandy Alexander was through. O'Connor didn't go with him. And Hoff, under a lot of pressure, put him over the sideline in a ball and all tackle. Good stuff, Queensland. Beautiful play. Cliff Lyons from New South Wales. Queensland win the scrum.
Mike McLean in possession, 15 out from his own goal line centre field. The tackler was Lyons. It's gone to Wallers now across to big Martin Bella. Mamma mia, Bella charging forward. He is knocked down now, 24 out from the Queensland goal line. Wallers across the G. G is going to be well and truly taken too, with 3 of the Blues over the top of him. 28 out now from the Queensland goal line. It's back with Wallers at dummy half across now to Jackson. Peter Jackson putting a high ball downfield. I thought it was going to go out then, but I looked into the lights and it's taken beautifully by the Blues, and we've got the fullback going to ground. It's Alexander, I think, on the far side of the ground up there to play the ball. Back it goes to Hasler. He gives it across to Johnson. Johnson's going to be wrapped up 6 metres short of the halfway line.
And Queensland have soaked up a lot of good New South Wales attacks. Still no score on the board. And there's 3 and 4 of the Maroons in every tackle. And New South Wales knowing that they're going to have to really play well to crack this defence tonight. Queensland's defence is good. Roach cracks it, almost gets through. And picking him up in the last line of defence, the little fellow Alan Langer. Sideline Tony Peters.
Lewis and Menninger working over.
Oh, here's a break now by Eddingshausen.
Yeah, now has Eddingshausen got the pace. He's put it off the end of the toe, and again Hoff cleans up for Queensland. Boy, he's going all right, this big bloke.
He certainly is. He's mopping up for Queensland. But my heavens, the pressure on Paul Hoff is absolutely incredible. Here's a break for Queensland. Good strong run by Willie Kahn.
Yes, and taken beautifully by Roberts, but they continue now with Wally Lewis leading the charge for the Cane Toads. He's outside of his own quarter line and knocked to the ground. Now Peter Jackson into the dummy half roll. The ball carrier now, Steve Jackson, going forward for the Queensland side. He's 30 metres out from the Queensland goal line.
It's significant to note that New South Wales have had 2 clean breaks, 2 possible try-scoring opportunities, and Hoff has done everything right on both occasions. So his confidence should be A-OK. There's got to be a worry in Queensland, though, that New South Wales are splitting them like a knife through hot butter.
Back it goes now to Michael O'Connor. Willie Kahn up on him very, very quickly.
He's a good player, Kahn. I can't understand how he's not in the Broncos' first-grade side on a regular basis. Laurie Daly tries to sneak like a thief in the night up the blind side, but he's picked up by McLean and Menninger.
O'Connor again out to big Paul Sirenen charging forward. McLean over the top of him, working well so far. The Queensland unit up front goes across to Elias, out to Ricky Stewart, turns it back now to Roberts. Roberts charging forward. But Larson, Bella and Guppy's over the top of him. He'll play it now 31 metres out from the Queensland goal line. 1 tackle left to go. Elias to Stewart. It goes across the lines. He drops the Steeden off the end of the toe too. John's coming through at 100 miles an hour. But the ball goes over the touchline. 13 metres out from the Queensland goal line.
No score. State of Origin number 1 from Dodge City Lang Park. After 11 minutes of play, no score on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard. Uninterrupted rugby league tonight from Express Class Fielder's Bakeries, the GIO, GKN Rentals, and the Maitland and Bulli Greyhound Clubs.
Now the scrum to go down, won by Queensland. Straight across it goes now into the arms of Hancock. Oh, he's busted him, chases on. Oh, and he's just brought down from behind by Greg Alexander. He's got toe. Now Wally Lewis at dummy half. He offloads to Langer. Langer's got troops on the outside with Peter Jackson. Jackson held it up. Couldn't get his pass away. Stepped away from Eddinghausen. Gives it back to Langer. Langer can't get away from the Blues defence. As he goes to ground, he offloads to Bella. It's gone out to G. Then on to McLean. McLean going to be wrapped up out wide, I feel sure. And he goes to ground. A metre short of the halfway line in Queensland territory. A shocking play the ball. 6 tackles ruled by the referee. And Queensland's Steve Jackson will play it once again to Wallace. Now out to Martin Bella. And Bella can only pick up another 8 yards or so for Queensland. He's 9 into the New South Wales territory.
12 minutes gone, and it's quite evident that New South Wales have speed on Queensland. But my word, Queensland are making up for it now with just determined play. They're grinding away. Their defence has been good. They've soaked up some great New South Wales attack. Let's see what they can do with a pill.
Lewis across to Big Mal Meninga. His first big run. He gives it back to Hoff. Look at the legs pop out for Hoff. Still going. But he's pulled down just over the New South Wales quarter line. It's played to Khan. Goes across to Jackson. Back to Big Mal Meninga. Oh, and taking Eddinghausen on. And to his credit, Andrew Eddinghausen stood his ground. And Big Mal went down. It's played. Goes across this time to Peter Jackson. He's put a high kick up. Everybody on side. The referee says, oh, the ball's been knocked on. And New South Wales captain Ben Elias in possession, 18 out from the Blues goal line.
That was desperation stakes by Queensland there. That bomb just had put no pressure on the New South Wales players at all. It should have been in the in-goal area. Queensland's defence is very good, but I just suspect that they lack a yard or two of pace. If New South Wales can get the ball out into their centre area, that could be the area that they maybe can win this game later on in it. Right at the moment, there's a real battle going on, and it's going on right in the centre of the ruck area. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Yeah, New South Wales players working for that room out wide, Pete. They're certainly working hard towards it. They've found the holes pretty easily.
Yeah, they certainly have, but they haven't got any points on the board. The Parramatta Nissan scoreboard after 13, no score. Elias kicks downfield, and they have wrapped up Michael Hancock in possession just outside his own quarter. Here's Hoff. He wants to run now. His confidence sky high.
Yeah, and pulled down by Elias. He quickly plays it to Wallace, to Langer. Good pass out to Wally Lewis. He gets the heck out of there with a torpedo-style kick down. Oh, he's got a bloody A-grade bounce. And it goes over the touchline just in front of the New South Wales quarter line. What a kick.
Yeah, and they're bowing to the king at the moment. They're giving him the sign. They haven't forgotten their champion captain, and they love him at Lang Park. And he is rising to the occasion so far. After 14, listen to the chant, Wally, Wally. If that doesn't make you stand 10 foot tall, nothing would.
Scrum to go down now. Defeated Ricky Stewart for New South Wales. He does so now. The Blues win it. It goes a long pass out to Cliffy Lyons.
And
it
a
was
long
a long
pass,
one.
Greg. That went 20 metres.
It was a long one. Out to Andrew Eddinghausen now, who's got some toe. He'll get through the two of these. Look at him go, but he's pulled down. Good tackle too, just up over the halfway line by Queensland on the far side. Larson the man, take a bow.
Okay, and that's what they're going to do, New South Wales. Exactly what they did to Great Britain last year. Ricky Stewart's 20-metre passes to Cliff Lyons allows Lyons to create havoc out wide, and that's what they're going to do to Queensland, and it's working so far. But New South Wales, a knock-on, ball over the sideline, scrum feed to the Maroons, right on the halfway mark. No score after 15 minutes at Lang Park. State of Origin number 1. The scrums are 2-all. The penalties, only one penalty in the opening 15 minutes of play.
Scrum going down, won by Queensland. Langer across to Lewis. Lewis is going to run on his own this time. Couldn't offload. Cliff Lyons up very quickly to take him out of business. He'll play it to Langer. Showed it to Peter Jackson down the blind side, but Hoff takes it up the centre of the ground. Tries to go past Sirinen, but a ball and all tackle brings him down 5 metres into New South Wales territory. Meninga back to Martin Bella. Straightens things up, steadies things down, Martin Bella. For the Queensland side, Wallace again at that familiar dummy half position, taking off like his brother Gerard used to do. But he is taken by Ben Elias over the top in company with Stephen Roach. Quickly plays it back to Langer. Goes across to G out to Mal Meninga. Meninga gives it back to G out to Willie Khan. Khan goes back in field and he's taken 28 out from the Blues line.
Let's see Langer try and open it up. He hasn't tried to do much, the little fellow. Little chip and chase here. Grubber kick to the Brandy Alexander. Beautifully taken on the run, but he's well put down and held now. Just outside, 10 metres out from his own goal line.
Peter, it's got to be a penalty kick. The toad hung on to him too long, and he's been pitched. Get back to the swamp, Jackson.
Okay, Peter Jackson to get the penalty against him there, hanging on for too long, and he's been penalised. New South Wales, first penalty of the game, and I'm amazed that there has not been anything thrown in anger in this game. There's dynamite in every tackle, but it's been an incredibly clean State of Origin game so far. 16 minutes gone, sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Too fast for that, Pete. New South Wales territorial advantage, but nothing to show for it.
Yeah, nothing to show for it. They've done all the hard work, all the foreplay, so to speak, but nothing has happened yet in the way of points. No score. State of Origin after 17 minutes on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard.
Ricky Stewart in possession again, going across the Gaia, gets around Langer. Langer comes in, tries to throw him. He's getting his little legs wrapped around him because he couldn't put the big fella to ground. He needed help over the top, and Martin Bella did that. Back now to Ben Elias, gives it across to Cliff Lyons, and Cliff Lyons puts a high kick downfield. Off going to get underneath this one, trapped inside of his own quarter line. He comes out of it very strongly. Lyons has got him around the legs. How would you miss him? Fair dinkum. He gets up there to play it back. It goes to Langer. Across now to Willie Kahn. Kahn now goes down the centre of the ground. A good run, picked up 11 metres or so for the Queenslanders. He's up the play it to Wallace, goes across to McLean. McLean charging forward. Oh, he got rid of Blocker Roach, McLean, Pete. That was a good charge.
Yeah, he certainly did. Blocker did a double backflip with Pike. 8 points he got for that.
Mel Meninga makes a bust. He's in the clear. The cover comes at him. He sends it back inside to Wally. Oh, and Wally is taken beautifully up around the top of the shoulder area, ball and all, by Alexander. Willie Kahn, cross to Langer, turns it back to Peter Jackson. Jackson going forward. I passed off the ground. Play on, says the referee, as Kahn tries to make some inroads.
Last tackle. Here goes the kick.
Back it goes once again to Alfie Langer. Peter said it was right on. Beautifully mopped up by New South Wales. And it was Ian Roberts diving on the ball along the ground. Stewart at dummy half. Goes across to Gaia. Gaia trying to get around Mike McLean. Well, he beats him, but slowed him down enough for someone to come over the top in the form of Steve Jackson to claim him. It's back to Clippy Lyons. He gives it out to Johns, trying to make every post a winner. He is 18 metres out now from the New South Wales goal line.
And New South Wales having to work a lot harder now as Queensland. As I said earlier, they've soaked up everything New South Wales could throw at them. They didn't concede a try. Now they're growing in confidence, the Maroons. This is a tremendous game of football. It's a real dogfight, an arm wrestle. 0-0 on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard. New South Wales will have to clear it here. A knock on, and there's the pressure against Ricky Stewart. Not a lot of support for him. Queensland want to play it quickly. Here's a great opportunity. Lewis wants it.
Gives it across to Mal Meninga. Meninga's going to have a go on his own. He's big and strong. What's going to happen here? And Laurie Daly's got hold of him. Can't put him to ground. He'll play it back now to Wally Lewis. Sends it across to Larson. Larson charging the Blues quarter line. A shade over it too, with Roberts over the top with Roach. He plays it to Wallace. He gives it back to Martin Bella. And Bella now is only 15 metres out from the New South Wales goal line. We'll play it back to Wallace again. Goes across to Langer. He's got one inside, but he goes to ground too. The little champion halfback, 11 metres out from the New South Wales goal line. It's played to Wallace. It goes across to G to Lewis. Lewis has got plenty of trips. He gives it back to Big Mal again. Mal's pass goes astray. Nobody at home that time. And Wallace goes back to retrieve. He steps away from one, but then taken by another, still on the New South Wales quarter line. Now McLean serves it up to Langer. Drops it off the end of the toe. The chase is on. They all go back into the in-goal area, and it's made dead. Made dead by Des Hasler, and thank goodness for that.
Well, Des Hasler getting back, mopping up. He and Alexander were there. Good kick by Langer. Glenn Lazarus and David Gillespie. Double trouble coming up on the bench. I wouldn't be surprised if, pardon me, if perhaps it's Roach who maybe goes to the sideline. He just missed a tackle of a player running through there. Could be that perhaps Steve Roach to replace by big Glenn Lazarus. Tony Peters, anything happening down there on that subs bench?
Yes, Peter, Gillespie and Glenn Lazarus both warming up to come on. Sean McRae's waiting for the instructions from Tim Sheens. We'll see a change very shortly, Pete. New South Wales have got to kick that ball low to Paul Hoff, not high.
Okay, 31,500 here. New South Wales and Queensland, no score. Hoff goes for a run again. He's up now, almost to the New South Wales quarter. He reaches the quarter. Paul Hoff, a great run.
Yes, a great run, all right, no risk. Back now to Wallace. He gives it across to G. He's copped up possession, picked up by Paul Sirenen, and the Blues look like they're running out of fuel.
Well, that was a let-off for New South Wales. They're bunched at the moment. They're going one out. Roach takes it one out. New South Wales, you can throw a blanket over them at the moment. As I said, they've thrown their best at Queensland. Queensland haven't buckled, and they're going to have to knuckle down to it again.
Hasler up the play it back to Ben Elias, goes across. Oh, Roberts has let one go too. Langer's knocked it on also for mine. The referee's got to put a scrum down. What's he going to do? He said no. Queensland are going to come up with it. Mike McLean plays it back to Langer, takes off down the blind side. He's gone on his own, got no one with him. And they're all over the top, a little Alfie, but he hangs onto the football. On the Blues quarter line, up the play at the Wallace, goes across to Bella. And again, Bella settling things down, but the ball, he has lost it. And we've got New South Wales coming up with it. And boy, did they need that one.
Well, they certainly did. Now, this game, the hits in there are enormous. Mark Geyer dropped it a few moments ago, just as a result of Wally Lewis being all over him like an octopus. Here's the long pass, the lines out wide again. Using Daly inside. Laurie Daly goes up the centre. Good tackle, Gary Larson.
It was a beauty. 30 out from their own goal line. Benny Elias giving it back to Roach again. Flicks it once again to Elias. Elias picks up Ricky Stewart out wide. He's got troops out far. He gives it across once again to Geyer. Turns it back to Ricky Stewart. Back to Benny Elias. And Elias has copped up possession. And guess what? Little Alfie Langer's ready to dive on it.
Well, every time New South Wales use that long pass out wide from Stewart to Lyons and cutting out the inside defenders for Queensland, they're looking dangerous. But other than that, they haven't got a real lot going for themselves at the moment. It's a good effort by both sides, still sorting one another out. 22 minutes gone, no score on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard. The Blues and the Maroons at Lang Park, sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Paul Sirinen likely to come off, Pete, with David Gillespie to go on.
Okay, Sirinen to come off and Gillespie to go on. Meninga pushes off a few, gives it to Lewis.
Gives it out there to Hoff, Lewis, and Hoff takes off. Look at the big boy go, but he's pulled down. One tackle left to go to Queensland. They're 30 out from the New South Wales goal line. Wallace sends it across to Langer again. Off the right foot, the football goes downfield, and it's beautifully picked up by Alexander. He slips, cuts up to go again. He's beaten one. He's found a big hole in the Queensland side. Back now it goes to Eddingshausen. They take off, and he hasn't got enough pace to get away. Strong defence on
Paul
the far
Hoff
side.
again. Hoff has done it again for Queensland. Here's a chance for the Blues out wide.
Goes across now to Clippy Lines. Lines through the gap. He turns it back to Laurie Daly. Steps Peter Jackson. Gives it back to Eddingshausen. And then Hasler. Then it has been knocked down by Hasler. Says the referee. So a scrum will go down. What are you doing, Billy Harrigan? You're from New South Wales.
Well, there's no way there was a knock on there. That was an error by the referee, who has had an outstanding game. But I don't blame him. The pace of it there. New South Wales finding gaps out wide. That extra pace from Eddingshausen. The cleverness of Cliff Lyons is creating havoc for Queensland. There's Hoff coming up into the 5'8" spot to take the workload off Lewis. That's interesting. And that's happened quite a bit tonight. Gee, he's done well, Hoff.
Sure has. Larson has done well too, and he's in possession for Queensland. 10 short of the halfway line, centre field. Wallace across to Martin Bella. And Bella doing a lot of the hard stuff too as he goes to ground. Still 5 short of the halfway line. Back to Wallace, to Wally Lewis. And King Wally puts the football downfield. Going to be taken this time by Michael O'Connor for New South Wales. Still going across field in his own quarter line. And Alfie Langer's up to get him. Now he's got to play this ball slowly. They're trying to get to him, and Alexander gets to him now.
Okay, well, Alfie rounded him up like the littlest Bronco there. He went across and he
Shetland
really
pony.
lassoed him in, brought him down. That's inspiring stuff. I think after, so far, 24 minutes of play, we've got to just say that Wally Lewis is pacing himself. He's doing a lot in defence. He hasn't really tried to take on the New South Wales defence in possession of the football. He's really the general out there for Queensland at the moment.
Giving it now back to Ricky Stewart, and Stewart for New South Wales put the long ball down, turning Hoff around. He's going to have to go right back to his own in goal to retrieve this one.
Hasn't he had some work, Paul Hoff? But he's soaking it up. He's done well. Right now he gets away from Daly. No, he doesn't.
The heck he does.
Daly rounds him up with one leg.
And he will now play the ball back to Willie Kahn. Kahn going for a bit of a sprint across field. Too much pace for Geyer, Willie Kahn. And Eddinghausen forced to chase, turns it back to Meninga, goes across to Hancock, and Hancock goes down the far flank around. Stewart beats the second one, and we had a swing and arm going over the top by Geyer. He'll get a caution on the run, no risk, but the play goes on. Alfie Langer across the Wallace, good pass to G, gives it out to Lewis. Lewis has got Peter Jackson with him, goes for a bit of a run this time, King Wally, and he's knocked down 8 metres over the halfway line in New South Wales territory by Roach. Up the play at the Wallace, from the back of the ruck, he skirts away, picks up 15 metres.
Cheap yards there for Queensland, easy yards up the guts.
Blue's gone to sleep, back it goes now to Langer. Langer turns his attention this time to G in support, and he's taken by Geyer. Getting up the plant, Peter Jackson at dummy half. Is he going to kick? He's shaped to, changes his mind, steps one, goes back in field, gives it to G. The pass is a shocker. It's picked up once again by Jackson. Steve, he kicks downfield.
Penalty to Queensland.
Well, we knocked it on anyway.
Penalty to Queensland, and it was Steve Jackson, the grubber kick through, tackled after he kicked the football. That's a legitimate penalty, and Bill Harrigan's given it right in front of the sticks for the Queensland side, and it'll be Mal Meninga, the greatest point scorer for Queensland in State of Origin. It's hard to believe that Chicken George played in the early games of State of Origin in 1980. And, well, he's here again tonight. A caution to Mark Geyer and also to Mike McLean, who's done very well for Queensland. After 26 minutes of play in State of Origin number 1, a chance now for Queensland to put points on the board. There's been no points on the board in this game so far. The scrums are 4-2 to Queensland. The penalties are 2-1. Only 3 penalties in 27 minutes of play in State of Origin football, Greg. I can't believe it.
No, it's fantastic defence, Pete, as you pointed out. Some of the hits have been magnificent. Noticing Paul Hoff getting some attention from the trainer.
He's had a great debut.
Fantastic debut. These come of age. They've got themselves a fullback for many, many years, Queensland, on this performance. Let me tell you. Now, this kick has taken so long, I'm nearly fallen off to sleep here. Mal Meninga still hasn't placed the ball.
Well, it's a vital kick. They've battled hard for their points. They've really struggled to get over the New South Wales line. The New South Wales side has really frittered away chances.
There's the kick now. The flags are up. 2 points are up. And look at this crowd. They're up.
Yeah, they certainly are on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard after 27 minutes. Mal Meninga, a penalty goal for Queensland. And Queensland 2 lead New South Wales 0 at Lang Park. And Mal Meninga, no problems with that one. Right in front of the uprights. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Yeah, big boost for Queensland, Pete. As you say, they've soaked up all the pressure. Hoff and Harrigan best on the ground so far.
Yeah, Hoff and who?
Harrigan.
Hoff and Harrigan.
Hop Harrigan.
Okay, there's the restart of play. And going deep and to take it for Queensland, the safe hands of Mal Meninga.
Yes, coming up towards his own quarter line. Gillespie and up over the top to make sure he's out of business. He'll play it now to Wallace. Gives it across to Steve Jackson for Queensland, carrying the leather just outside of his own quarter line. He plays it to Wallace. Wallace steps across one. Roberts has got hold of him. He offloads out wide. It goes to G. G comes back inside. Little Des Hasler's there to pull him down. 35 metres out from the Queensland goal line. Wallace sends it across to Larson. Larson shapes up, straightens up the attack. Mark Geyer's over the top, but Roberts did the damage down below. As we see Wallace giving it back now to Wally Lewis, going across fairly, stepped away from Ricky Stewart. Comes to Ben Elias, puts a high kick up, forcing the boys from New South Wales back. It's going to be picked up by Michael O'Connor. Come on, Mikey, show him what you can do, son. Tries to go round Larson, and he's knocked to the ground. Greg Alexander now coming over to the dummy half position.
It's been a long time in this game since New South Wales have been anywhere near the Queensland goal line. There's Lyons inside to Johns.
Johns takes off down the far flank. Hancock's coming at him. He hasn't seen Hancock yet, but he turns it across to Eddinghausen. It's been intercepted by Paul Hoff. That's bad, and Hoff takes off, and he's just ankle tapped, and he coughs up the football.
Well, that should have been another try to New South Wales. A brilliant break, engineered again by Cliff Lyons, who is having an absolute blinder for New South Wales.
Yep.
He is registering his vote for the Australian Test jersey again in 1991. He sent Johns through. Johns had Eddingshausen in full flight. E.T. knocked it on straight into the hands of the giraffe that is Paul Hoff, and then Hoff lost it. New South Wales knock on Ricky Stewart, and it'll be a Queensland scrum feed. 2-0, and New South Wales, well, they're spendthrifts tonight. They have murdered some great try-scoring opportunities.
They got the hippie shakes, Peter, particularly in that half-back position. Come on, Ricky, you can do better than that, son. Okay, scrum to go down. Outflanger for Queensland coming up to work it. And, of course, it doesn't go in, but play on, says Harrigan, and that's fair game, too, as we see Langer go to ground. Alexander's over the top of him. Hoff again up, willing to do some work. A dummy half as it feeds it across to Larson. Larson, again, is wrapped up by Cliffy Lyons. He'll play it to Wallace, gives it across to Mike McLean, charging forward. Oh, a shoulder charge by Roberts, didn't work. Roberts hit the deck first. McLean up very quickly to play it again to Wallace. Across to Martin Bella. Bella's not looking to offload it. He's just picking up yards for the Maroons, but he's up over the halfway line. He plays it, goes across to Langer. Good pass to Wally Lewis to Mal Meninga. Drops it off the end of the toe. It's going to find the touchline, and it goes over the touchline, 25 metres out from the New South Wales goal line.
Well, that came off a New South Wales player's hand, I thought. The referee has ruled foot. That's going to be interesting. I thought it came off a New South Wales player's hands, but the Queenslanders, well, Alan Langer's got the ball. He said, I'm putting it in.
Yeah, he's picked it up. He's not going to beat him.
Alfie, he's almost in the scrum. He's got his head in it.
Okay, the scrum.
Don't put it in there, Alf.
Harrigan have a bit of trouble with this one. Well, they've walked it off. I'd pinch him at the moment, but he's fed it now. And it's a big push from Queensland. Well, we've got Roberts offside. No risk in the world. He was standing around one. So was Geyer. Then Geyer tried to kick the ball.
Greg, that wasn't a scrum. That was an abortion.
Well, Well, it's a family show. Gee whiz.
That was a terrible looking scrum. Langer put it almost in front of the lock's feet.
I said that.
And then there was a big push for it, and Roberts retained his spot in the front row, and everyone sort of disappeared from in front of him.
And then
Queensland having a committee meeting. Lewis puts it over the sideline now, and the pressure right on the Blues. New South Wales trail 2-0. Here come Queensland.
Waller's coming up for the tap. There she goes across to Langer. Oh, Langer nearly fumbles. It turns it back to Larson. Wasn't expecting that one. A bit flat that time, but he's very quickly pulled down by Hasler and Company. Elias tries to strike in the area, and he is allowed to. And the referee, there was a Queensland hand in that play. The ball.
That was a fair strike by Elias. Now here's Laurie Daly on the ground injured, and Daly has played very little football so far this year. He's just coming back from 6 weeks out, and let's hope the young fellow's okay.
New South Wales in possession. Michael O'Connor getting up the plate now. Back to Ben Elias. Goes across to Roberts. Roberts taken well and truly over the top by Queensland on the New South Wales quarter line. He'll get up the plate back now to Benny Elias. He looks for support, gives it across to Gaia. Gaia trying to beat one or two of them. Langer's got hold of him, so has Wally Lewis, so has G. They can't put him down. He's got a big smile on his face.
Well, only 8 minutes remaining in the first half. Still no try in this State of Origin game. The defence of both teams is enormous, and we've got a real dogfight on our hands now. Here's Alexander to clear for New South Wales. He kicks towards the wing of Michael Hancock. Hancock under no pressure, takes it well, heads across field, stops, goes again. Hasler and Eddingshausen. Eddingshausen rounds him up and puts him down now. 32 metres out from the Queensland goal line. Off the dummy half. He clears it now.
Goes across to Willie Kahn. He's going to be wrapped up beautifully by Cliff Lyons. He'll play in the ball 10 short of the halfway line. Ordinary play the ball too, but against New South Wales, the penalty goes to Queensland, pulling down in the play the ball.
Yeah, the referee ruling there, the big Ian Roberts was the player in question. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
You've got to wonder what's going through the New South Wales players' minds, Pete. They've had 4 clean opportunities to score tries and come up with nothing, and it's getting tougher by the minute.
Yeah, it certainly is getting tougher. They really should be 10 to 12 points in front, New South Wales, but they're not. And that has given Queensland the impetus to go on with it. Look at Bella. He just says, let me take some work. And he tramples over his Manly teammate, Des Hasler.
Getting up there to play it again. Waller's at dummy half. He bypasses G. Gives it out now to Steve Jackson, working well too for Queensland this evening. He's knocked down just outside the Blues quarter line. Waller's again at dummy half. Sends it across to Langer. Good pass out to Wally Lewis as it goes to Meninga. Turns it back to Peter Jackson. He offloads to Lewis. Back it goes to Larson. Larson straightens up the attack, but again knocked down just outside the Blues quarter line by Roberts. He'll play it to Wallers. Langer into the attack for Queensland. Dummies, beautiful dummy. Comes to Stewart, beats him, but then again it's left for Ian Roberts to take him over the top, ball and all.
Gillespie's made some nice hits since he's been on, replacing Sirinen.
Queensland play it. Langer giving it across once again to Wally Lewis. He puts a little chip up over the top, back into the in-goal area. Johns knocks it out the back door. Goal line drop out, and again the Cockroaches under pressure.
Yeah, they certainly are. Good kick by Lewis, and New South Wales just a little bit frayed around the edges at the moment. 5 minutes before half-time, they've had all the running in the game, but for the last 15 to 20 minutes, Queensland have come back strongly. My word, you've got to admire the courage of the Queenslanders. They're putting in tonight. New South Wales, very flashy, some brilliant breaks, 50, 60-metre breaks, but nothing to show for it.
All dressed up and nowhere to go. Geez, I'm going to need a twoies at half-time here with this one. There's the kick by Stewart downfield. Right down up over the halfway line, taken by Hoff to Larson now for a bit of a gallop. Young, enthusiastic, this bloke plays for North Sydney, and he goes to ground. We'll get up to play at 30 out from the New South Wales goal line. It goes to Wallace to Martin Bella. Bella's coughed up possession, and a knock-on has occurred, says the referee. I thought it went back, Zorba. I thought it went back.
Well,
you
were blind when you refereed, and you haven't improved your eyesight. That was a blatant knock-on. Martin Bella, I think he's lost his contact lens. He has. Well, Martin Bella is giving his contact lens to the referee. He said, here, mind this. I'm going to go without it. He's going blind, the big fellow.
He's giving it to the referee. He thinks the referee's going blind for putting the scrum down.
I don't think so.
He's pulled his eye out and given him his bloody eye. Put this in, he said.
Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Oh, I think you'll find Martin Bella had plenty to say about the ruling that Bill Harrigan made. This is what the cause of it is. Now he's got it.
Yeah, he's given the contact lens, and there it is. He gave it to the referee. Said, I don't want this.
Said, you stick it in, Billy boy.
Okay, there it is. Penalty to New South Wales.
And rightly so, too. I knew that. This penalty given.
There's a very important 4 minutes now. A try to either side to go to the break would be an enormous advantage, money in the bank. New South Wales must be wondering how many breaks they've got to make to actually put the ball down for a try. They've seemingly had them shot to bits. Hoff has been their nemesis so far.
Johns with the tap. It goes out
And
to
that's not the name of a submarine, in case you were wondering.
Out to Eddingshausen.
Dumbo.
Clark back to Clippy Lines. You can't hurt my feelings tonight, you.
You've got no feelings.
Back to Benny Elias. It gives it then straight to Roberts. It gives it out now to Gillespie, to Ricky Stewart. Stewart finds Gaia wide. Gaia trying to get around one or two. Big Peter Jackson's got hold of him. Talk about land of the Giants, these two turkeys. Up now to play the ball. Back it goes to Daly. Daly sends it infield to Chris John. Steps off the left foot, goes back. But again, he's easy meat for the Queenslanders. And down he goes, 10 short of the halfway line. In Queensland, in New South Wales territory, Benny Elias scoots down the far touchline. Comes to Hancock, tips over the top. It's a combination of him and Langer. And Elias has got hold of him by the shirt tail.
Oh, Benny Elias.
Well,
He
Langer.
claims he's been headbutted there by Alan Langer, but I think Benny's foxing for a penalty. He knows he's not going to get one. He's right beside the touch judge, who I think is a Queenslander anyway.
He is.
No chance there.
He's a
and
toe.
Benny Elias was dead set foxing there for a penalty. Took a deep sea dive. Didn't work bouncing. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
A good call. I had the laugh. Benny looked up at the touch judge and couldn't believe it. You got it right, spot on there. He had no idea.
Okay, here's Cliff Lyons now. Pass out wide.
To Daly.
Room to Daly.
And Daly goes back in field. He's not going to get rid of this one. And Lewis over the top of him, 8 metres over the halfway line in Queensland territory.
Less than 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2-0 to Queensland on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard. New South Wales struggling now to crack this Queensland defence.
Ian Roberts up to play it back to Ben Elias. Goes across to Steve Roach. Bella takes him. Beautiful pass over to Gillespie. He fumbles again, manages to retain possession. Has a look back. Elias was there, but the ball has gone astray again from Gillespie. And we've got Queensland coming up with it by a G. Mike McLean going for a bit of a trot on the far side for Queensland, but he's knocked down up over the halfway line. Once again by Gaia. Wally Lewis at dummy half sends it across to Martin Bella. Bella charging forward. And Roberts around the legs. Gaia up over the top, and Ben Elias supervising the tackling.
Gary Coyne on for Queensland. Mike McLean off. Gary Larson, the workhorse, takes it up. What chance of field goal? Only seconds before half-time for Queensland.
Langer chipped up over the top. Willie Cahn's coming at 100 miles an hour. They look up over their shoulder, but it's touch and goal. Touch and goal. Michael O'Connor had too much toe for him anyway.
Okay, so Queensland not taking that chance for a 1 point. I think they would have worked for it there. That was only on the 4th or 5th tackle. Good chase by Willie Kahn. Every time I see this player in action, I wonder why he's not in the Broncos' top lineup on a permanent basis. But Happy Joe Happy's the coach, not me, and I just can't understand it. I think he's a better player than Michael Hancock. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Peter, New South Wales only look good when they spread that ball wide. That's their best opportunity like now.
And there's a blue on for the first time in the match, and it's the 2 number 11s, I suspect.
Well, back to the action now. New South Wales in possession, but the referee has blown his whistle.
It's Roach and G.
Roach and G. Okay, well, he's sorted out now. He's got a Queensland touch judge on the far side. And here comes the New South Welshman. You give a good report, boy.
Yeah, well, send them to the sheds. I mean, it's taken 40 minutes of this game for a punch to be thrown. It was a couple of heavyweights in Big Steve Roach and for Queensland, Andrew G. And they were throwing them in the manner that would have done Mike Tyson proud. No damage done. They'll get a caution and then go and have a rest at half-time. Nothing, I don't think, will happen on this occasion. Certainly Roach was throwing them. So was Andrew G. Here's Big Blocker. He wants some oxygen, the big fellow. The pace has been a cracker. Tony Peters on the sideline.
That's something to do with a late tackle that Andrew G made on a New South Wales player earlier, and Roach resented it. That's what it's all about.
Okay, so there it is, both off, and there it is at half-time. Queensland leading New South Wales by 2 points to 0 on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard. Mal Meninga 1 from 1. New South Wales have not had a shot at a goal in this game of football. Tony Peters.
Paul Sirenen on for Mark Gaia. Tim Sheens wants more work from the forwards, and he wants the markers in defence to work a lot harder and not push the last pass. Graham Lowe concerned about very weak defence on the outside.
Okay, there's a message from both dressing rooms at half-time. Queensland lead by 2 points to 0. The Giraffe Hoff is laced up by Des Hasler, 18 metres out from the Cane Toads goal line.
Willie Kahn in possession, going outside of his own quarter line. Now he plays it back to Walters, goes across to Larson. Sirenen up very quickly over the top of Larson. Ball and all tackle, he goes to the ground. It's played once again to Walters, 30 out from the Queensland goal line. Walters picks up another 10 metres. 10 short now of the halfway line centre field. Queensland on the attack. Langer giving it back to Wally Lewis, gets around Benny Elias and he puts the Steeden downfield. It's a great looking kin, but Greg Alexander wraps up now for New South Wales. He comes up towards his own quarter line. Big Mal Meninga over the top and a beautiful tackle, ball and all.
Yeah, good tackle on Alexander. Queensland are keen. 10 of the 13 followed the kick downfield in a maroon blanket going up to Alexander, not giving the star New South Welshman a chance to run. New South Wales made plenty of breaks in the first half, nothing forthcoming. Queensland have got their nose in front in a real arm wrestle here. Gavin Allen on for Queensland, and he's replaced Steve Jackson in the front row for the Queenslanders.
Sirenen now up the plate, back to Ben Elias, goes across to Steve Roach, charging forward, nearly makes the bus too. But a tackle down around the legs by Wallers brings him to ground. Ben Elias at dummy half goes across once again to Ricky Stewart. He's been put out of business after the kick, but it's taken again by Hoff, who's having a blinder for Queensland. And the big lanky cane toad nearly up to the halfway line before being spread eagle in a tackle by Hasler.
He's only got to fall over to get 50 metres. He's 7'4".
Back now it goes to Hancock. Hancock going to be wrapped up by Hasler and Ben Elias right on the halfway line. Wallers at dummy half looking for some options. Who's going to take it forward? Little Langer said, I'll do it. He offloads the big Mal Meninga out wide. Daly comes up to take him along with Sirenen. And he's going to be held up on the far side of the ground. He will quickly play it once again. It goes to Khan, then it goes out to G. And G has stopped at his tracks 5 metres over the halfway line in Queensland territory. Back to Wallers across to Langer. Beautiful hands on to Larson. Larson going forward towards the centre of the ground. They can't put him down. Called upon now to play the football. Looks at the referee. It's back now to Peter Jackson. He throws an awful pass to Wally Lewis. Lewis now, soccer style, kicks the ball downfield. The bounce is going to be a good one, is it? Michael O'Connor over to get it, but very quickly down Willie Khan. And they've got the cockroach 4 metres out from the Blues goal line.
What a freak Lewis is. He kicked that ball on the run. Most other players would have kicked it into the grandstand. Lewis's ball has taken a freak bounce. Queensland almost come up with something that they could work on there. The Blues up against it again. Not too many runners for New South Wales at the moment. Lewis says, come on to Queensland. He senses that perhaps they can do something in this game. They've got their nose in front. 2 points to 0 on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard. Last tackle for the Blues. They're going to get the heck out of here and clear it.
There's Ricky Stewart's kick downfield now. It's a good one too. Hoff beautifully positioned, takes it on bounce. 135 out from his own goal line. The big leg's pumping now, but he goes to ground, tries to get up again, but Ricky Stewart's up over the top in company with Hasler. Peter Jackson at dummy half, sends it across to Gavin Allen. Allen charging forward, gets around Roberts, but then again taken by Des Hasler. Up the plat, Hancock at dummy half, goes across the Langer, good pass to Lewis, turns his attention to Peter Jackson. Jackson back, it goes centre field to Lewis, he offloads to Bella. Bella goes for a big run, look at him go, big Mamma Mia Bella.
Well, Wally Lewis hasn't run, but he is inspiring. His mere presence is doing the job. It's been a masterstroke from Graham Lowe. Lewis will time himself, and if this game is close, there isn't a better player in the world in a close game than Wally Lewis. Here's Langer, he's done little. He's trying to open New South Wales up with a clever kick and chase, but New South Wales, Des Hasler, mops it up. New South Wales out wide.
Clippy lines out to Eddingshausen. Tries to get around Jackson, got hold of him by the shirt tail. He's hurt himself in doing so. Up the play at Eddingshausen, he gives it across to Johns, out now to Ben Elias. Had a look, no Blues ready to go. They're all standing there. You could have thrown a bloody blanket over him again. Come on, the Blues. Lines now from the back of the ruck going forward. He flicks it out to Ben Elias. No room to move. And the New South Wales skipper goes to ground.
Oh, and I don't think that Steve Walton missed Benny Elias there with a swinging left. Sirenen to take it up. New South Wales struggling at the moment to get out of their own territory. Chris Johns loses it backwards. Last tackle. It'll be a kick downfield by the Blues.
Sirenen up the plate. The Benny Elias quickly kicks from the back of the ruck downfield. And turning Hancock around, he'll go back. He takes the football. He's got Hoff with him. Goes across towards the centre of the ground. Little Des Hasler's there. And Hasler's first man in should be credited with that tackle. He'll play it to Langer. Sends it centre field again to Hoff.
No change to the half-time score. Queensland 2, lead New South Wales 0. State of origin number 1 out of Dodge City, Lang Park.
Gavin Allen charging forward, 2 up to the tackle. Roach stands his ground, takes him head on. Roberts is down around the legs. He'll play it to Walters again, across to Andrew G, back to Lewis, quickly kicking it again downfield, forcing Alexander to turn and chase. Straight over the touchline, right down on the Blues quarter line. They're hot tonight.
Yeah, they certainly are, and you've got to give it to Lewis. He has slowed the game down to his pace. He's a master player, and he's slowed it down to exactly how he wants to play it. He's standing wide of the rucks now, kicking deep, That's a magnificent kick, and listen to the chant go up. Wally, Wally.
Wally, Wally, as the scrum goes down, New South Wales win it. Stewart along past the Clippy lines, quickly out to Laurie Daly. He got the pace to get around. Meninga stalks him. Lewis comes at him, but he turns it back to Andrew Eddingshausen. He stands Jackson up. Jackson again comes at him, Peter Jackson, to pull him down 10 short of the halfway line.
He's had a great game in defence as Peter Jackson for Queensland. He has really mopped up the New South Wales centres, and he's doing a great job containing Eddingshausen and Daly. It's a real struggle out there at the moment. It is a battle, war with football boots on for sure tonight. And 7 minutes gone in the second half. The pace is a cracker, and these superb athletes are starting to feel the pinch before a capacity crowd of over 30,000 at Lang Park. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Peter, New South Wales can't afford to fall into Queensland's way of wanting them to play it. Queensland want to keep that ball in close. New South Wales have got to get it out wide.
Yeah, they certainly do. Andrew G taking it up for Queensland. Queensland have soaked it all up. This is not a flashy display by them, but my heavens, it's a gutsy one. Here's Meninga now with a run around after Langer ran around Lewis.
And he goes to ground just up over the halfway line. Again, Des Hasler down around the legs to pull him to ground. It's back now to Langer, gives it across to Larson. Larson taken around the legs, that time by David Gillespie with Roach over the top. Plays it back to Wallace. Wallace takes off from the back of the ruck. Will pick up another 10 metres. Couldn't get his pass away this time. One tackle left to go. 30 out from the New South Wales goal line. It's gone across Coyne into the arms of Langer. Langer puts a high kick up. I've got Willie Kahn a mile offside. Alexander beautifully up to take the ball. The maul was on that time from Wally Lewis on Alexander. It's played to Michael O'Connor. O'Connor takes off down the far flank to be about 10 metres out from his own goal line.
Greg, I've made it about 8.5 minutes of the second half, and the last 15 minutes of the first half, New South Wales have not been inside the Queensland quarter. So this game early on looked like New South Wales would carve them up, and they're starting to make mistakes now. Queensland are frustrating New South Wales into blatant errors. And New South Wales now, one out. Ricky Stewart goes one out. No support now as he's tackled outside the New South Wales quarter on the last tackle.
Getting up the plate to Sirinen. Sirinen sends it back to Benny Elias, and he puts the football downfield with a high kick. Going across to take it beautifully, Willie Kahn on the far flank. He starts a bit of a run too. And right around the boot bases goes Michael O'Connor to pull him down 2 metres over the halfway line. Wally Lewis now a dummy half, sends it across to Paul Hoff again, the tallest toad I've ever seen. And he goes to ground, he's up the plant. Back it goes once again to Wallers. Out now to Martin Bella. Bella's made a bust. Look at him go, and he is knocked down now 30 metres out from the New South Wales goal line. Up the plant, back to Wallers. He sends it across to Langer. Langer trying to go offload again. It does back to Wallers, out to Larson. Larson, good pass on to Gavin Allen. Allen looked back for support, but none available. And he's taken over the top that time by Chris Johns. Back he'll play it to Wallers. Across to Langer, good pass to Lewis. Lewis sends a long one to Mal Meninga. Out it goes to Willie Kahn again, back to Meninga. Meninga fends off one. Big Mal takes off down the far flank, turns it back to Willie Kahn onto Lewis. Lewis now gives it back to Meninga. Meninga's going to be taken, ball and all, by Alexander, and has the width. One tackle left to go, 11 out from the Blues line.
Queensland looking dangerous, and their experienced players are coming into it. They love it. Here's Langer, grubber kick through. It's a dangerous one.
But it's made Dedney in goal by Alexander and also Andrew Eddingshausen, and I think there's been a clash of heads or something down there.
Well, Greg Alexander's on the ground in the in-goal area, and that was desperate situation for New South Wales. New South Wales buckling under the onslaught now of the Maroons, and a grubber kick through by Langer. Just prior to that, it was Meninga and Lewis who combined. Andrew G went in hard there, and Alexander felt the full brunt of it. There's the dropout by New South Wales. Queensland will come back at them strongly. Hoff will go for a run now on his own, and he's made 15, 20, 22 metres back into the field of play in New South Wales territory. Relentless of the Maroons at the moment. A real dogfight here at Lang Park tonight. 2-0 after 11 minutes of play in the second half of this State of Origin #1. You can never write off Queensland at Lang Park.
Gavin Allen down on the Blues quarter line. He plays it back to Wallace. The little fella charges forward again, tries to keep it alive. A long pass along the ground. Mal Meninga picks it up. Gives it back to Peter Jackson, back to Mal Meninga. Meninga gives it across this time to Coyne. Coyne takes off 10 metres out now from the Blues goal line in total disarray. Up to play the ball. Back to Wally Lewis. Across to Langer. Langer had a look back inside, tries to get mobile, but this time he's crunched with one left to go, still 10 away from the Blues goal line. Peter Jackson serves one up for Wally Lewis, drops it off the end of the toe again, and it's beautifully wrapped up this time by Johns, 2 metres out from the Blues goal line.
Well, the relentless pursuit of a try for Queensland continues. New South Wales, look at their forwards in their own in-goal area. None of them want to go with it. Elias says, I'll take it. But there's no runners for the Blues at the moment. They've hit the proverbial brick wall. Roberts takes it up, but not with a lot of venom. And he's hit hard by the Queensland defence. Queensland coming on strongly, and listen to the fans roar them home.
Ricky Stewart, wide ball out now to Cliff Lyons. Lyons tries to get mobile, he gets it back to Des, has to get through a small gap. Picks up a valuable 10 metres or so for New South Wales, but then Bella finishes him off over the top. Cliffy Lyons at dummy half, sends it back to Ricky Stewart. They've got to get the heck out of there, and there goes Stewart's kick downfield now. Again, Hoff reading this game beautifully for Queensland, takes it up over the halfway line. Daly goes in pursuit of him, along with Michael O'Connor, and down he goes 8 metres from the halfway line in Blues territory.
Well, both two very, very tired sides, but New South Wales are defending more, and it's always tougher to defend. Here's Willie Kahn running across field, looking for a gap, doesn't find it, and Queensland come back at the Blues again. New South Wales can't get out of their own territory, and they're not putting enough pressure on Hoff. They're in trouble, even though Queensland only lead 2-0. Jackson's had a great game.
Peter Jackson still going downfield. They couldn't get him over the touchline. He's up the flat. Back to Wallace, sends it infield to Langer. Langer dummy straightens up the attack. He gives it back once again to Peter Jackson. Back to Wally Lewis down the blind side. Lewis through the gap. He's only 2 metres out now from the New South Wales goal line. He'll play it now. Back to Hancock. Oh, and we've got an offside. It's another dead set penalty. Hasler from an offside position called the football, got it, and has got pinched.
Yeah, a penalty to Queensland. It's out wide. It's a low-scoring game, this one. The lowest scoring game that I can find is New South Wales 8, Queensland 0, and that was last year in match number 28 at the Sydney Stadium, Sydney Football Stadium. New South Wales beat Queensland 8 points to 0. That's the lowest scoring game in State of Origin so far. It's 2-0 to the Queenslanders at the moment, and they are gutsing their way in this game. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Yeah, time for new blood in the New South Wales side, Pete. Brad Fittler and Mark McGaw getting ready to come on. It's obviously new blood time for New South Wales or individual brilliance. Otherwise, we're in big trouble.
Yes, certainly are. And if Meninga can put this one over, this Queensland side will grow another toad leg. They are coming on strongly. Lewis has paced himself magnificently.
We've got the kick to be taken by Mal Meninga. He is 8 metres from the touchline, possibly 9 just outside the Blues quarter line. And they've got the water down there. It's been blessed too, and they're going to need that. So if, as Pete said, Meninga can put this one up, well, this place will go nuts a Rudy.
Well, Hayley Lewis will. She's right behind it.
Okay, Harley's got the red flag, I got the blue flag, and I've got everything crossed. That he'll miss it.
Everything.
Nearly everything. Yeah, we won't get into that. I'll get into strife.
Not
the boss
big
will
enough
be
to
having me
cross.
off air. Here he comes now, Big Mal, he hits it, it's going to go away to the right, is it? Away to the right, it's gone away to the right, taken in the in-goal area by Alexander. Back into the field of play, they've missed him, he's going to come right up to his own quarter line. Good yards from Greg Alexander.
Brilliant run by Alexander. New South Wales haven't got close enough for a shot at goal in this game. They have not been inside the Queensland quarter in the opening 15 minutes of the second half. They are locked up in whatever the jail is up here, Boggo Road, I think it is, in Brisbane, and they're locked in Boggo Road at the moment and can't get out. Maximum security.
Cliffy Lyons lobs a very hard pass across to Michael O'Connor, left with a task to do that. To try and beat someone on that occasion, had to slow down to take it. But now he's up to play it back to Cliff Lyons, sends it across to Ricky Stewart. Stewart gets around one, he beat Coyne. He runs downfield, gets a kick in. And as we see Hancock going across in company with Hoff, getting to the ball first back inside of his own quarter line. Big job for Daly. Daly has to take him head on that time, but Chris Johns got to him first to pull him down. He's hurt Hoff. Johns has hurt Hoff, stood his ground, and he's put the big praying mantis out of business.
Yeah, well, Bronco on Bronco, and that was a strong tackle. Geez, had a good game, Hoff. Chrissy Johns has had a very good game. Stood his ground, wrapped the big fellow up, took him to ground, and then over the top came Andrew Eddingshausen. And I think he hit his head on the ground, the big fellow. Geez, had a strong game. He'll want to stay there. He's played very well. And the pace has been a cracker in this game. 16 minutes gone in the second half. And the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard, Queensland 2, New South Wales 0. What a dogfight.
Well, Hoff's still down on the ground. Johns, that was a great tackle. And
he's had a good game, Chris Johns.
Oh, good sport too, Pete, to go over and check his mate out.
Well, You know, there's no love lost out there. They'll have a beer together after the game, but right at the moment, you know, they are spilling their blood for their state.
Quite frankly, I'd like to see Johns hit him with another one just like that 2 minutes from now, and he may not get up again.
Yeah, you're a bad sport, though.
No, I'm a good sport, but I'm blue through and through.
Yeah, you're a disgrace to a sports microphone.
I am not a disgrace.
You were a pretty low referee, and
How low can you go? 5'5"?
You can say that.
How low can you go? 5'5"?
About as low as you can go. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Here's an interesting problem now, Pete. Who's going to play fullback? Hoff's coming from the field. The replacement's warming up. I'm not sure who he's going to be. Graham Lowe is still deciding, would you believe?
Okay, so Queensland with 12 men at the moment. Nothing wrong with the tackle. Was just the way he hit the ground, Hoff, but he's getting a standing ovation.
Has played super football tonight. Bella now plays the ball back to Walters. Goes now to Wally Lewis, and Lewis gets the heck out of there with a kick. Alexander going across to take it. On bounce to inside of his own quarter line, and a Maroon line of defence down there. Tries to step Mal Meninga. Gives it back to Michael O'Connor. Larson wants to take him on and wins the battle there as he takes him to ground just outside the quarter line.
Steve Renoff on. He's a fine young player. Brilliant speed. May be a big plus for Queensland as he comes into this game now. Brilliant youngster. Looking at the Queensland side now, it's Willie Kahn going back to fullback. So there's a big switch by Graham Lowe. Renoff to the wing, Willie Kahn to fullback.
Benny Elias at dummy half across to Ricky Stewart. Stewart trying to send up. It's Alexander on the far flank, but he can't get rid of it. Eventually he does now. Out to Cliffy Lyons, and brilliant hands from Cliff Lyons on that occasion. He's going to keep it alive once again, this time to Eddingshausen. Turns it back to Johns. Johns takes off, straightens up the attack and settles things down 30 out from his own goal line. And G took him well. He'll play it to Ben Elias again across to Gillespie. Gillespie straightens up the attack, looks back, he gives the ball to Des Hasler, who makes a break. Good break too from Hasler. Right up towards the halfway line. Langer around the legs. Lewis over the top to pull him to ground as we see Ricky Stewart get a kick downfield. Going across to take the football this time is Willie Kahn. Run off with him too as Willie Kahn elects to go on his own and carries the Steeden just outside the Queensland quarter line.
18 minutes gone in the second half. Still no change to the halftime score. Queensland 2, New South Wales 0 on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard. New South Wales, for the first time in the second half, have got Queensland deep inside their own territory. It won't be too long till Lewis or Langer kicks downfield. Indeed, we're on the fourth tackle now.
Larson plays it back to Wall as it goes. Peter Jackson's the one to put it downfield. Greg Alexander peppered with these kicks all evening.
He's had a big game, Alexander. Both the fullbacks have played well. Brandy, brilliant runner of the football, looking for his speed to do something. But there's Langer coming across like a little drover's dog and picking him up. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Bad news for Paul Hoff, Peter. Dislocated shoulder. Brad Fittler replaced by Des Hasler. Glenn Lazarus replaced Brad Fittler on for Hasler. Lazarus for Gillespie. Sorry.
Okay, so Lazarus is on and Brad Fittler on for New South Wales.
Well, Hasler's in possession now for the Blues. He's 28 metres out from his own goal line. Plays it back to Elias, gives it across to Ian Roberts. Larson's there to take Roberts' head on. Fine tackle too it was.
Good game, Larson.
35 out from the Blues goal line. Benny Elias gives it straight back to Ricky Stewart, and Stewart kicks downfield. Good kick this time, forcing Willie Kahn to go across to take it 15 out from his own goal line. Defensive paramount importance now for the Blues. Eddinghausen's up there to take him to ground with Hasler, and he can only manage to just get outside of his own quarter line. Langer's back quickly at dummy half, sends it across to Hancock, trying to make some yards. Daly's up quickly to take him. 30 metres out now from the Queensland goal line. He gets up there to play it to Wallers. Down the blind side goes Mal Meninga for a bit of a sprint, turns the ball back inside.
Oh, Daly's picked it up.
Yes, and he wasn't offside. Daly heads for the line. He's got a man to beat Willie Kahn, but he can't do it. Oh, and Martin Bella got to him.
And so did Lewis.
How in the heck he got there? Benny Elias in possession. This is their best chance, Peter.
Lewis has made 2 tackles there. One a try saver on Laurie Daly.
Up to play the ball. Daly's at dummy half, sends it across to Stewart. Oh, Gillespie, it's gone over his head. They dive for the ball. And again, little Alfie Langer slides in to take the leather for Queensland.
Well, New South Wales, another opportunity's gone begging there. Daly looked home for all money. And how did Wally Lewis get across there? And Martin Bella to pick him up against the run of play. That was the snap try that New South Wales desperately needed. 21 minutes gone in the second half. And it's Queensland still in front by 2-0. And New South Wales have murdered 5 or 6 try-scoring opportunities.
Waller's across to Langer. Langer kicks downfield. He was 30 out from his own goal line. Alexander takes it 12 out from his on the full this time. He's got support with Michael O'Connor. He dummies, then changes his mind. O'Connor goes into the dummy half position. No, Ricky Stewart has done that now. Elects to have a look. Pete, no one available, goes on his own.
Well, New South Wales, really, the breaks they've made in this game, They must be wondering what they've got to do to actually put the ball over the line. They've done everything but that, but Queensland are hanging in there like a mother-in-law.
Getting up there to play the ball, Cliffy Lines. Andrew G. He's got a bit of a knock in the eye, Cliff Lines, but it's back to Daly, gives it across to Roberts. Roberts going forward for New South Wales. Again, Larson over the top. He's dropped it. It's gone forward. Well, they're forcing the errors now,
There's
Queensland.
a judge in. Couple of replacements on for New South Wales. Glenn Lazarus and Brad Fittler.
Yep.
Going off David Gillespie.
And looks like Des Hasler.
And Des Hasler. Hasler, very busy player for New South Wales. Fittler, a brilliant youngster. Maybe he can swing it for the Blues. Queensland, big push. They lead 2-0. Langer shows it.
Sure does. Back now to Willie Kahn. Lines up to take him over the top. Getting up there to play the ball. Fittler also involved in the tackle. Peter Jackson, a dummy half, sends it across to Larson once again.
Lions copped the boot in the face.
Sure did. Now we've got Queensland still in possession as Larson plays it back to Wallace. Goes across to Martin Bella. A good tackle that time by Fittler around the legs. Brings him to the sudden halt. He'll get up to play it back to Wallace. Goes across to Langer. Good pass out to Wally Lewis. Look out, boy. Here comes the king. He turns it back to Meninga. Meninga charges the line. And they score. They score, Queensland. Big Mal Meninga. Again, Wally Lewis, the prime mover.
Well, Queensland have done it. And the old firm of Meninga. Meninga and Lewis have done it. Mal Meninga and Wally Lewis. And the smile on the face of the king. It's come 23 minutes into the second half. And Wally Lewis, an incredible player, has done it again at Lang Park. It's Lewis. They hung off him for just a moment, and he has set up the try that could clinch it for Queensland. Magnificent effort by Lewis. The ball went wide. It ended up in the hands of Lewis. He threw the dummy. Eddingshausen hung off him. He gave it to Meninga, and he charged through Alexander and over the top of Andrew Eddingshausen, got the ball down, and the old firm, Meninga and Lewis, who have done it so many times. It was Langer to Lewis, the dummy, the pass inside. Meninga put the ball down for the try. Eddingshausen underneath, and Lewis did a somersault over the top. Queensland 6-0 after 24 minutes of the second half. You can't deny the great players have stood up tonight at Lang Park.
Okay, Mal Meninga, the try scorer. Brilliance again from the old brigade. Boy, I wouldn't like to call them old men after that, but Langer, Lewis, unbelievable footballer, unbelievable play. Okay, we've got Big Mal Meninga now. He's 24 metres out from the New South Wales goal line. He's 14 metres in from touch. He doesn't muck around. He hits it, but again it goes away to the right-hand side. No goal.
Well, if he put that one over, I think it would have been the game. New South Wales still with a chance to draw level. Plenty of time. 16 minutes and 11 seconds to go. And the stage is set now for a magnificent finish. You've got to give it to Lewis. He has paced himself. He has paced himself throughout this game like an old pro that he is. 31 years of age, his 28th game in State of Origin. It has been his stage, and he is certainly conducting it today here tonight at Lang Park. Lewis set the try up, the only try of the game. New South Wales have had 8 chances and haven't scored one. Queensland have had one real chance and they've taken it. That's what big sport's all about. 6 points to 0 on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard to Queensland. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Kevin Walters on, Andrew G off.
Kevin Walters on, Andrew G off, and there are now 15 minutes left for play.
Renoff in possession of the ball. He's up the play at the Larson, goes across to Ralph Langer again. Langer stops, has a look back inside. He picks up this time Steve Wallace. He makes a bust down the field, and he can motor to this little break. He's looking for support. Wally Lewis is coming at him. He passes it to Wally, but Wally's he's tackled only centimetres from the line. And it'll be a penalty kick to Queensland. And there goes Harrigan's arm. Interference in the play the ball. I needed twoies.
Oh, well, what a magnificent break by Steve Walters. And who was there but Wally Lewis backing up? Who else but Lewis? How did he get there? The man's a marvel. Absolutely pacing himself. He's got a cut over the left eye, the old warrior. The hair is balding, receding, but what a champion. Magnificent player. He was there. Great break by Steve Walters, and he threw the ball inside to Lewis. Magnificent tackle from behind for New South Wales, and it was a great tackle. It had to be by Ian Roberts. and then the penalty given to Queensland. Wally's El Stuffo, but he's going to hang in there. 6-0. Who said that Queensland weren't ready? Graham Lowe, what a master coach. He's got them ready, and Queensland are now 13 minutes away from victory here at Lang Park. Meninga lining it up.
Yes, he's lining this penalty kick up right back on the quarter line.
Cliff lines off for New South Wales.
10 metres in from touch on the far side. Mel Meninga, as Pete said, if he can put this one over, they're at least 2 points out of striking distance. We'd need to score and kick and then have another shot to even draw. So if he puts this one over, I dare say it may be curtains for the Roaches.
Well, certainly, Greg, they're not playing well enough. They've had their opportunities, but they've missed them. But, gee, you've got to give all credit to Queensland. They've hung in there.
There's the kick from Mel Meninga, and again it's waved away to the right-hand side, so the Blues still live.
2 out of 4 for Mel Meninga. He really could have kicked them home and really passed New South Wales' chances. I don't know if New South Wales have got enough left in them. I don't know whether they deserve to lose, but Queensland certainly don't. Gee, they've tried hard, and they're not going to give up this lead without a heck of a fight. 13 minutes to go at Lang Park. Queensland 6, lead New South Wales duck egg.
Coyne in possession, 5 metres short of the halfway line. Steve Waller's a dummy half, looking for a ball carrier across to brother Kevin, out now to Meninga. Meninga makes another bust, turns it back inside to Kevin Wallace. He can't handle the football, run-off goes through, but it's going to be played a knock-on, says the referee. I think it was tackled too. Scrum to go down. Pete, 35 out from the Blues goal line.
Well, the breaks are coming now Queensland's way. They're up and running. Lewis I keep repeating it, but how has he timed himself in this game? He just let the others burn themselves out, and he paced himself superbly.
Now we've got Mark McGaw, I should say, on. Lewis up to take him in a head-on tackle. McGaw getting up to play it back to Daly. Daly across to Fittler. And
Fittler can step, and he's fresh, and he's going to be dangerous.
It's played now back into the arms of Lazarus, charging forward off a Ben Elias pass up towards the halfway line. Bella over the top. It's played back now. It goes to Ricky Stewart. A switch of play out to Glory Daly. Daly coming up the coin. Nowhere to go. He plays the ball, but it's been touched. And we've got New South Wales in total disarray. Nobody wanting to dive on the loose ball.
Well, I thought it was a knock-on by Queensland. I thought it was touched in flight. Harrigan's missed it. It should have been New South Wales diving on it and 6 more, but they don't want to dive enough. They're not hungry enough. Queensland want to get dirty more than New South Wales. I don't think they're going to be denied. Willie Kahn running, getting it away to Walters now. Kevin Walters. The Walters brothers are on now. Or are they twins? Who cares? The Ipswich brothers.
Back it goes this time to Gavin Allen. And Allen going to be knocked down just short of the Blues quarter line.
A field goal will do it for Queensland. That's all they need now.
Langer giving it across to Martin Bella again.
Hasn't he had a game?
Oh, he has back to Langer. He had to reach out to take it. Don't know how he didn't knock it on, but they got one
Lewis
to
has
go.
got another shot at field goal.
Back it goes to the Toads again. Jackson has a shot. Lewis was going to. He can't do it. He gives it across to Willie Kahn. He can't kick, so he chips it downfield. But Alexander comes up with the football for New South Wales. Hancock's there to take him, and he goes to ground just outside the Blues quarter line.
He's had a very good game, Greg Alexander, under a lot of pressure, and he's handled it well. New South Wales now with a job ahead of them. I make it 10 minutes and 39 seconds to go. Time running out for the Blues. Queensland 6, New South Wales 0. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
New South Wales clearly frustrated in the first half, frustrated even more second half, but we haven't had a lot of ball in this second half either.
No, but they are frustrated and looking as though they're out of business. Queensland have got 10 minutes to go at Lang Park.
Back it goes now to Roach. Roach trying to link up out wide. He does so with McGaw. McGaw can't go anywhere. Lewis is over the top of him. Peter Jackson down around the legs. Back now it goes to Elias. Across to Ricky Stewart. Out it goes to Daly. Daly gets a kick in downfield on instructions that time from Eddingshausen. And it's going to be a good kick up over the touchline. About 8-9 metres out from the Queensland goal line.
This looks like being another masterstroke by Graham Lowe. He has prepared this Queensland side superbly tonight. And, gee, if there's a better coach in rugby league anywhere than this quietly spoken man, I haven't seen him. The man is an absolute genius. He has got this Queensland side to battle and battle like they've never battled before against the odds tonight. And New South Wales, with all the try-scoring opportunities, didn't come up with one, and Queensland have grabbed the initiative. They've battled hard. They haven't been flashy. It hasn't been that sort of a game. But my heavens, you have to admire their perseverance in it, and they're not going to be denied. Look at Gary Coyne. He's strode 20 metres through the gap. He's lost the ball.
Yeah, Roach has come up with the football. This will be a chance for him if they can do something with it. It goes across to Stewart. Out now to Laurie Daly. Daly kicks, would you believe, on tackle too. Run off back there to pick up for Queensland. He can motor. They've got to cut him down. Get across there too in the Blues.
Well, that's a silly decision there by Daly to grub a kick on only the second tackle. That is frustration. That is giving. You can't win the ball game, or get a draw if you haven't got the pill in your hands. Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Peter, they can't get through the brick wall, so obviously frustration, they've got to try getting over the top of it. It's their only chance. It's this damn Manly type of defence that's beaten them again.
Yeah, it certainly has, and great defence by Queensland at the moment. Martin Bella, what a game from Big Marty tonight for the Queenslanders.
Back now to Wally Lewis again on the halfway line, getting a splendid kick downfield, and it's been knocked back that time by Greg Alexander. Fair game 2 he is now, and taken by Larson up very quickly. What a great game debut he's had, this fella. He'll get up now to play at Alexander. Chris Johns from the back of the ruck running across field, slips and goes to ground, just claimed over the top. No tackle needed by Coyne. He'll play the ball back now to Benny Elias. He gives it out to Gaia. Gaia fresh back on now for New South Wales, charging forward, picks up 6 metres. Gavin Allen stops him.
7 minutes left for play. Queensland 6-0 over New South Wales on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard, and they are locking New South Wales up. The Blues can't get out of their own territory again. Mark McGaw fresh. Go on, Sparkles.
Tries to go through the gap, but he's pulled down 12 metres short of the halfway line. One tackle left to go. Nobody at the dummy half to dive on it, and now Meninga just falls around the back of the ruck to take possession once again from Queensland. Now it goes to Walters Stephen, the Christian name, up the plat. Langer's a dummy half. Lewis is standing at the back now, sucking in the oxygen as Coyne charges forward, but he's pulled down over the top that time by Lazarus and also Mark Gaia. He's up the plat now, back to Kevin Wallace, gives it across to Gavin Allen going forward, up towards the Blues quarter line. He'll get up the plat once again. Kevin Wallace at dummy half. He looks for Martin Bella. He's there. Now it goes out to Langer. A long pass across to Kevin Wallace. He holds it up this time for Hancock coming back infield. Tries to get away from one. Beats another one. Finds a gap. Goes straight through it. Right up into the Blues quarter area with one tackle left to go.
Wally would love to win a field goal to wrap it up, but they've gone up the blind side. They want another try.
Kevin Wallace on the toe. Alexander again saves for New South Wales. Picking the ball up. Tries to make a break. Kevin Wallace from behind pulls him down. He'll play it to Eddingshausen.
6 minutes left for play, and the Blues are where they've been most of this game in the second half, inside their own territory. Steve Walters, what a great game. How can Kerrod get the spot back from him? He has been a colossus for Queensland tonight.
Fantastic defence once again from Gavin Allen and also Larson.
Larson's had a blinder.
That's the word. Back it goes once again, this time into the arms of Johns, trying to fend off one or two. He gets away, tries to have another crack at it. But again, 3 toads over the top to pull him down on the Blues quarter line. Ben Elias at dummy half, trying to muster some enthusiasm. Gives it across to Roach. The big man dummies, has a look back. No one available to offload. And little Alfie Langer's there again with Larson over the top, with Gavin Allen just helping out. Ricky Stewart, he kicks downfield now from general play. Beautiful looking kick. Renoff forced back now, right towards his in-goal area, as the Steeden will stop for him to pick up.
The Blues not chasing hard enough. Renoff should have been caught inside that quarter. They waited for him to get out. There's 5 minutes and 35 seconds to go at Lang Park. New South Wales trail 6 points to 0. A Mal Meninga try inspired by Wally Lewis. And it's Queensland 6, New South Wales 0 on the Parramatta Nissan scoreboard into the last 5 right now.
Yes, Stevie Wallace again running off a pass from his brother Kevin outside their quarter line now.
How do you pick man of the match in these Queenslanders? Wally Lewis has inspired them. Jackson's played superbly. So has Steve Walters. So has Gary Larson. So has Martin Bella.
Why don't you just name the whole darn team? Back now to Johns. Johns offloads to Eddingshausen. He takes off. Tries to make a break, but again, Queensland defence very strong, and they close it up 6 points to 0 in favour of the Toads.
They've got to get it out wide, New South Wales.
Back it goes to Gaia, goes without the ball, being knocked back. What does the referee say? Elias picks it up. The referee says it has been knocked on, and I agree with him.
Well, Wally Lewis clapping the referee's decision. New South Wales claiming that it was knocked back off a Queenslander, but Bill Harrigan has given the scrum now. It'll be a feed to Queensland. Wally was clapping his hands off.
Back now to Kevin Wallace across once again this time. Into the arms of Willie Kahn. He's made another break. Lewis is there. He's going to call for it. Willie Kahn goes. He passes it back this time. Lewis just can't get to it. And New South Wales, Mark Gaia comes up with it. Now he offloads across to Michael O'Connor. O'Connor goes across to the far side of the ground, and Renoff is there to pull O'Connor down. Plays it to Fittler. Brad Fittler now takes off down the far side of the ground. Langer's there to take him 2-5 short of the halfway line. He'll get up to play it. Michael O'Connor at dummy half gives it across to Lazarus. And Glenn Lazarus goes up over the halfway line for New South Wales. A metre into Queensland territory. Plays it back to Elias. Goes across to Ricky Stewart. Out this time to Sirenen.
Look at Bella's defence. Bella has just made a tackle on the sideline, one in the centre of the field. He has been magnificent tonight for the Queensland side. Chip and chase by Alexander.
Yeah, but Renoff has got to the ball first. The bad bounce for Alexander on that occasion, and Renoff comes up with a pill on the far side.
Sideline eye, Tony Peters.
Just about gone, Pete. We've tried everything, New South Wales. We can't get through this damn defence. We can't even get over the...
Okay, Tony cut out there. Good tackle over the sideline there.
He got a bit upset about that.
They certainly did. A crowd of over 31,000 tonight, and they have got 3 minutes to wait for the cheer to go up. New South Wales last hurrah now. They win the scrum, 3 minutes to go. Mark McGaw makes a half break.
Gives it back to Eddingshausen. Desperately trying to keep it alive. It went back to Daly. The referee said play on. Daly comes across, tries to link up out wide, steps away from one tackle, still going. But he won't be able to offload this time. Now he goes down.
2 minutes, 50 seconds to go.
New South Wales are just outside the Queensland quarter line. Ben Elias gives it back to Fittler with a good step. Steps up one, but goes to ground once again on the Queensland quarter. Back to Ben Elias. From the back of the ruck, he takes off. Gives it across to Ricky Stewart. Turns it back now to Sirenen. Has he got any shell left in the tank? But he goes to ground now 15 metres away from the Queensland goal line. Ben Elias at dummy half. Goes across to Ricky Stewart. Out to Alexander. A long pass this time to Daly. Daly's going to score.
Yes,
Daly scores. You
2
Tony.
minutes. 2 minutes 19 to go. Laurie Daly has scored for New South Wales, and the kick will be coming now for the New South Wales side. New South Wales with a conversion attempt to come, and Laurie Daly a grubber kick through. 2 minutes to go in this game of football at Lang Park. The grubber kick through for New South Wales. It went from Stewart to Alexander. The long pass to Daly. He kicked around the wing of Michael Hancock, and he's gone in and scored the try. What pressure now on New South Wales kicker Michael O'Connor. Michael O'Connor, 1 minute 30 seconds remaining. It's 6 points to 4.
Here we go with the kick now, and as Pete said, jelly, the legs would be like jelly, but this bloke is a pro right down through to the Tigers, let me tell you that. And it's going to be a marvellous kick if he can put it over. They're shocked, Queensland. 6 points to 4 in favour of Queensland over New South Wales with the kick to come.
Well, maybe a draw is the right result. I think Queensland have earned the victory. Let's have a look at the kick. Greg, he hasn't taken it back a long way.
No, he hasn't.
Michael O'Connor, pressure kicker, doesn't kick for Manly anymore that Matthew Ridge is there. Hayley Lewis is biting her nails.
Yes, and I'm shaking in me tiger boots here. He's standing steady. It's up. The boos are gone up. Michael O'Connor, a heap of pressure. What can he do? A great player for New South Wales. A great kicker. Come on, Mikey boy. He's put it up. Oh, and he's pushed it out to the right. But we don't blame you for that, son. I know what it's like to be out there with pressure.
Well, Michael O'Connor's missed the kick. And there it is. It's going to be time up. 29 seconds. Tony Peters.
Tim Sheen stood with me, Peter, while he took that cook. He had a bit of a smile on his face. I think he believes justice has been done, but the way out for New South Wales is clear. Next match, over the top against this brick wall side.
Well, Tony Peters, I think Queensland have deserved it tonight. Great try by Laurie Daly. 1 try each. Meninga 2 from 4. Listen to the countdown. Time will be up. That's over the dead ball line. On the full, that's a penalty. That's a penalty to New South Wales on the halfway mark. At Queensland.
Yeah.
Don't tell me they've... Well, it's a long way. They've got to take the kick.
Of course they've got to
Time
take
is
it.
up.
Well, who's coming over? What are they going to do?
I don't think Michael O'Connor wants it. They've got to have a shot at goal.
Well, he's coming over to the centre. Wally Lewis is standing 2 metres, 3 metres from the halfway line.
Well, Wally knows the rule.
He's
They
gotta
can
go
have
back
a dead
10.
ball line on the full, and
Yep.
it's got to be a penalty.
Yep.
No option for the referee. The in-goal touch judge ruled it. The penalty's been given, and right now, Michael O'Connor, a second chance to snatch a draw. He's not going to take it.
Alexander.
is.
Well, there's courage. He doesn't want to take it, Michael. He knows he can't, but Alexander might.
Well, Greg, I don't think Michael O'Connor would get the distance. Greg Alexander, the kicker for Penrith. Ricky Stewart's talking to him,
Oh.
and this is going to be the kick. What a game of football.
I'm
It's
praying for him.
drama. You're no good you praying, mate. Wouldn't do you any good.
Good Catholic boy.
Okay, here's Alexander lining it up on the halfway mark. Talk about drama. The Blues don't deserve to win. Don't deserve to draw. I'd love to see them get it.
Well, okay, it's Alexander now. Will it go? He's hit it nicely. What's it going to do? It's going, but it falls short. No goal. Wally Lewis takes the football, runs it out as slow as he can and goes to ground. And there goes the siren. They've done it, the Toads.
6 points to 4. Wally Lewis has been named man of the match here tonight at Lang Park in Brisbane. What a great game of football. And the Queenslanders have done it. A magnificent game of football. What a game. And Queensland rejoicing. Wally Lewis taking his side to the sideline. He has been named the Winfield man of the match. What a great game. Hayley Lewis, did you enjoy that?
I sure did. Wally Lewis fully deserved man of the match.
He had a great game. What a marvellous player.
Oh, he is. He's the best. He showed it tonight, and I think he showed a lot of people who'll be really happy.
Well, what about his courage and how he paced himself?
Yeah, I think he held back a bit in the first half, but, you know, he came through at the end when the others were getting a bit tired, so I think that shows a lot of skill from him.
Well, it certainly does. There they go, the New South Wales side tripping off the field, beaten 6-4, and Queensland rejoice. The Maroons, Wally Lewis.
Yoo-hoo!
There they go now over to the hill area. Lewis takes them over. Martin Bella, what a game from Martin Bella. What a game from Wally Lewis. What a game from Peter Jackson. And a magnificent performance by the Queensland side to win 6-4, and they are rejoicing, absolutely rejoicing here at Lang Park in Brisbane. The try scorer for Queensland, Mal Meninga. 1 goal from 4 attempts for Meninga, none from 2 for New South Wales, 1 attempt from Michael O'Connor, and 1 dramatic attempt after the siren by Greg Alexander, which just dropped short. Wally Lewis is rejoicing. He's soaking up the atmosphere. What a win by Queensland. Graham Lowe's out there too. Lowie, don't run too far, son. Graham Lowe, almost at death's door this year. What a comeback for this great man of rugby league. A marvellous coach. You Kiwis, he is a marvellous coach. He is congratulating Gary Larson now.
Paul Hoff on the ground now too, Peter, to soak up some of that. What a marvellous debut for this big fella, Paul Hoff from the Broncos. Had a sensational game. So did Jackson, the Western Suburbs player. He had a sensational game. All the debutants this evening, I should say, were absolutely brilliant.
Well, New South Wales have been beaten by a courageous Queensland side. I'm a Blue through and through, but I appreciate guts, tenacity, and the underdog coming through. There was up to 9.5 point start in some quarters. Queensland, they prepared well. They gutsed it out. New South Wales had their opportunities, but they blew it. And a great win to the Queensland side. Tony Peters, what's happening down there? Are you there, Tony? Okay, can't get him at the moment down there. There's absolute mayhem down there on the sideline. So it's a win to Queensland by 6 points to 4. They gutsed it out, Greg Hartley.
They sure did, Peter. Magnificent game of rugby league. Absolutely fantastic. Alfie Langer too. What a little prime mover this bloke is. He was...